Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are gonna analyze John Donne's poem Go and Catch a Falling Star. As you people know that John Donne was a metaphysical poet and this poem was published in 1633, 2 years after the death of John Donne. So this poem is basically divided into three stanzas. The first stanza consists of around 9 lines, around 9 lines, and we are gonna analyze it. It would be a kind of explanation and a kind of analysis as well. First stanza says, Go and catch a falling star. Get up with child and mandrake root. Tell me where all the past years are, or who craft the devil's food. Teach me to hear marmots singing, or to keep off envy's singing, and find what wind serves to advance an honest mind. In this first stanza, the poet tries to talk about this impossible things, and there are around 7 impossible things. In the very first line, he says, Go and if you can catch a falling star, catch it, which is an impossible thing. In second line, he says, Mandrake is a kind of a root which resembles a human being. He says, Go and get that root, and if it's possible for you to get a child out of that root, so go for it. And obviously, we understand that it's an impossible thing. The third impossible thing, he says, if you can bring the past years which passed already, if you can find them, if you have any information regarding them, tell me, which is also impossible. Even whatever your stage, you are in a stage in any age span, you cannot recall what had happened in the past years. In the fourth line, he says, Who craft the devil's food? It's a reference from the Greek mythology. And he says that there was there used to be a concept that the devil's foot got hurt by a fog kind of thing. So he said, if you can get it, the information, get me. And obviously, it's an unknown fact. So mythology remains mythology. Nobody knows about it. It's again an unknown definition. Then he says, if you know that where marmots are singing, so get me the information from that, and which is also one of the impossible thing, because marmot doesn't exist. Marmot means jal pari jo, so they don't exactly. Or he says, if you know that how to keep jealous people away from us, and that's an impossible thing. So he talks about these impossible things, and he then comes up with the point, and he say it's also similar. It is very very difficult, and it's impossible. These are all impossible things. That's why it is also an impossible thing. And he says that if you can tell me which way to get an honest mind. We don't have honest people. The world doesn't like a natural person and never let him a chance to flourish. So he talks about these particular things. In second stanza, he says, If thou best born to strange sights, things invisible to see, ride 10,000 days and nights, till each snow white hairs on thee. Though when thou returns, well, tell me all strange wonders that befell thee, and swear nowhere lives a woman true and fair. In second stanza, then continues its own flow, and he says that people with a sharp mentality, they are still present, and if you have a supernatural quality, and he compares the supernatural quality of kind of like if you can see anything. Well, in common people, you can judge them. You know the qualities of good people, and among the if you're not among the common people, and if you can go for around 10,000 days, he uses an hyperbole. If you can go for 10,000, if you can go for 10,000 years, days and nights, there are around approximately 27 years. So he said, if you go for that much year and you're here, then he says your hair will turn white, like you will have a gray hair. And even after all that you have seen in that time period. So if when I ask you if you have ever discovered or if you have ever seen a woman, a woman who was beautiful as well as honest. So then he says, obviously, it's impossible thing. It's not possible that with the faithful lady, you will always discover faithful lady in ugly woman, and no beautiful woman will be a faithful one and honest one. So he says that all these things are impossible tasks, and you're never gonna get fair and a beautiful lady together. That's very, very difficult to find. In third stanza, he says, "If thou find out, let me know such a pilgrimage was sweet. Yet do not, I would not go, though at next door we might meet. Though she were true when she met her, and last till you write your letters, yet she will be false ere I come to 2 or 3." In his third stanza, he mentions the point that if he says that this reader travels anywhere, and if he find out a girl, a woman who's honest and she is faithful, if he considers her to be honest girl, he can write a letter to me and inform me. But he further says, I will definitely go as a pilgrimage. And you know that what a pilgrimage is. It's a holy visit to any particular person or any particular area. He says that it will be a pilgrimage. But before the person writes this letter to him, when the letter reaches him, this John Donne, he says she will be changed. If such a woman is near me, I won't go there to see her. He said, if I have such type of girl, I will never visit her, because such type of woman will definitely change. And by the time I will go and meet her, she might be flirting with 1 or 2 girls. So in last we see that he's using a rhyming scheme. That's why we call it a song. And then there is a steady meter reused in it. A number of times he uses hyperbole. The first stanza is filled with hyperbole, the second one as well, and the third one as well. While somewhere we see that he's trying to actually, I personally feel that he say like he wants to light hard his own self. Like he's so much tired or maybe hurt by his beloved. So that's why he uses satirical way of discussion. The whole poem is used in a satirical form. Obviously, he is melancholy, he is sad, he is gloomy, and yes, some bitterness is also there. We see some bitterness in his work, and he is cynical towards women. Obviously, he is not happy with the beloved or lover, and there are
Like,
number of
subscribe.
symbolism used in it. So that is a kind of analysis we see in this